Hey everyone, welcome to the third episode of Your Friendly Neighborhood Film Fan, and today we're back to just reviewing one film at a time, and so today we're looking at #Alive, which was directed by Il Cho, and is another zombie movie. Yeah, I guess we're not done with zombie movies yet. It's basically a zombie apocalypse film from the perspective of this Twitch streamer. Despite being just another zombie film, I did actually really enjoy seeing the film from a perspective of an ordinary person trying to survive an apocalypse. Not some, top scientist guy or someone from the military or a cop, but just someone who's isolating themselves, trying to stay alive, a regular person, as if you could be one of these people. There are a lot of interesting elements to explore throughout this film, one being the human emotions that are presented through the great acting by Yu In. His emotional range was fantastic, and we learn how someone would handle themselves, or how they would handle something as simple as the loneliness that comes from hiding all alone during an apocalypse. He perfectly portrayed the feelings of a person struggling with being all alone in a place like that, and we really get an opportunity to explore the psychological state of his character and how it changes as the film progresses. I'd say out of all the, zombie films that I've seen, this was probably one of the most beautifully shot ones that I've seen in a while. The colors and framing were really gorgeous, and especially with this sort of minimalist but pretty set design that they'd had going on, and the apartment that Yu In was in was very small, but they managed to encapsulate sort of these great shots and these imaginative wide shots that could sort of help to indicate this character's loneliness and isolation from everyone else that he could potentially be contacting. The first act of the film is quite impressive actually. It's this sort of character study, or a basic character study, of how someone would be reacting in a zombie apocalypse, and as I said before, just a regular person reacting in a zombie apocalypse, and one really truly understands what's going on. However, the second act suffers a bit more from the story. The opening is strong, but the pacing really slows to a halt when we're introduced to our second character, played by Park Shin-hye. It's definitely a sweet story, and it really makes complete sense when you look at what Yu In was going throughout the process of the film, but there really wasn't enough happening during that part that was interesting. And if you sort of step back and look at the story from start to finish in a sort of broader view, one can really notice how it can drag heavily in the second act, and it really does little to develop her character, unlike his. This movie has a lot of action scenes that I felt were really clumsily shot. It's told that these zombies are meant to be, super strong creatures with sort of enhanced abilities, but later on a character just runs past them and pushes them aside like they're nothing. At one point there's literally 100 zombies just grouped together, and these two people have to survive through it. There were multiple scenes throughout this film where I just felt no tension at all, because I knew that the character would be fine because of how all of this was handled. And the overwhelming amount of jump scares in this film is just ridiculous. It's fine at first, but if it keeps happening more and more, people just won't get scared anymore and it won't work well. The only major difference between this and any other zombie film is that it takes place during the modern day. I keep seeing a lot of reviews claiming, oh, it's what a gamer would do during a zombie outbreak, but it's not really that at all, The film just shows that he has a gaming computer set up and that he plays a game in a couple scenes, but besides that, the gaming part doesn't really come up that much, and I don't know why this feels like an issue that needs to be discussed, but I don't know, it sort of grinded my gears. It's not like he's using information that he learned in a game to help him survive. The only real angle that this movie has is that it makes a somewhat unique tie to social media. Being called #Alive, with that title you'd think this film would focus around social media, and it kind of does, but it's barely a factor throughout the entire movie. The protagonist records these update vlogs on his current scenario, which don't really come into play all that often, but it does lead to a whole wormhole of plot holes that surround this entire film. Overall, this movie was fine. Yeah, I enjoyed myself while watching it, but it wasn't anything to really get super excited about. It was a sort of generic low-budget zombie film that really didn't add much but a couple new things to the whole formula, and it didn't really have anything important to say, so, you know, it's kind of forgettable, I'd say. I haven't thought about it in a while since watching it, actually, apart from making this review. So, if I'm really being honest, I think I'm just gonna have to give this film a 6 out of 10. But yeah, that was #Alive 2020. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!